for the point two initial balance range extension. We have to break that high first in order to get there. But yeah, I'd look for that to hit. The top of the new week open gap is 21,400 level. We didn't make it above the weekly VWAP. I'd like to see us try to push above that at least, and then possibly have a green day on Friday. But yeah, if we can get above that weekly VWAP, trade looks good to run up to that 400 level.
What's monthly VWAP? Is that the 374s or is that weekly? What's monthly?
Weekly VWAP is it's 339.
Oh, 339. All right. What's got there? I have session 21,330. Jack, real quick, 10-year auction. I know you did a little crash course, and we'll be reminding them throughout the coming lunchbox trading.
Here's my thoughts for today. If I had to be in a position right now, I would rather be long stocks. I feel like we've already made our bond move for the day. And in the absence of news, I think it's cleared for takeoff, even though I disagree with it with the take meter just because there's still ridiculous yields. The 10-year auction at noon is actually a TIPS auction. That's inflation-protected bonds. The demand will be there. Those are bonds for wusses. But still, you might not want to have an order in there right at the moment. But that's a different animal. So I'm bullish, I guess.
Sounds good. You heard it here.
Yeah.
All right. We got Dr. Fib coming up after you check out Dr. Fib. Love Dr. Fib from Argentina. I do believe with Dolby and myself, lunchbox trading after that. Also got a VIP check-in form. Season 3 coming up. Draft is next month. Morning recap coming up next. Remember yesterday, all the fireworks were in the afternoon. We saw Barron's badass trade this morning called the low and the highs. Let's see Hogue break it down as well as Jack going to the well 4 times. Dakota profitable as well. That was awesome stuff. I know it wasn't exactly the fastest of markets, but it wasn't the slowest as well. Hurry up and wait. Things are changing in real time. Stay tuned. Bell the Bellers, VIP checking coming up next. Or not next, later on today. This is Top Step TV. Let's go. Not
Order filled. Order filled. Welcome to the morning recap. It's always a pleasure to see everybody here. We had a very entertaining and fun and profitable fast markets there. We're going to take a look at these markets and a little bit of context, talk about some of the trades that were taken, some of the trades the house has taken, and just going to kind of review what's been going on. So we did have some economic information come out today. A couple of talking feds early in the day. Jobless claims came out. U.S. S&P composite flash, manufacturing and service indices, existing home sales. All of that is out. We do have a 4 and 8 week bill auction as usual at 11:30. 12-year tips auction still coming up, and we've got another talking Fed that I've seen on the schedule. Williams, you never know when those talking Feds are just going to pop up. It is always a pleasure to be with everybody. So, starting with the first opening range trade today, 0 for 2 today on the opening range trade. Now, I believe for the month after today, we're still up about $3,000 trading the opening range trade. So, this would probably be, we're to end now, the second month in a row that the opening range trade has been proven. Order filled. Probably be profitable. Just thinking of gold, we've been coming off those lows. We did open with a gap. We have since closed that session gap and really just kind of finding an area of balance here below the initial balance. We'll talk about that initial balance when we talk about the trades we took later on in this session in gold. But to talk about the opening range trade, that first minute, that 1 bar first minute at 7:20 to 7:21, we put a stop in to buy 5 micro gold. Above that by 1 tick, we put a stop in to sell 5 micro gold. Below that, this one got us to the long side. And, actually, we did not open with a gap. We opened in range and value. That's right. Now I'm kind of remembering. I wasn't a real big fan of this. We got to take them because if you don't take them, you kind of skew your results. And we're trying to really kind of pay attention to how profitable the 1 minute opening range trade could be over time. So we're taking it every day. It got us long 5 micro gold, 33.11.80. It wasn't a very big opening range. We did give it some space. We ended up getting stopped out on that at 33.06.80, a loss of $266 on 5 micro gold. Now, later on in the session, we were looking at the initial balance. Again, the initial balance is the first hour of trade. On my charts, I'm looking at the 7:20 open. So the initial balance is from 7:20 to 8:20. If you're on a platform, it may be a little bit different if you're looking at like the 7:30 open and the 8:30 close of the initial balance. So there may be a little bit of difference in that if you're looking at this on your charts. The market opened. Took our loss in the opening range trade, set the initial balance low, set the initial balance high. The market broke the initial balance low, big push to the downside. We were thinking about looking at a potential long against that level. There's that initial balance low because we had the the low of the session, the low of the overnight session, VWAP coming in relatively close to that. So we were kind of looking at a potential long there. With the equities rallying, we opted out of taking that trade, which was a pretty good choice. Maybe we should have opted into taking the short, because the short took us all the way down to the naked point of control that was checked in the overnight session. We were kind of looking at this trade as well. Got busy, didn't really have the concentration to try and take this trade. But when we take out the overnight low and we can't maintain below the overnight low, that can be a pretty decent opportunity in the opposite direction, which actually rang out to be true. Now, this is a 3-minute chart. Remember, the 3-minute chart, we come all the way back up to the initial balance high. We start looking at that anchored VWAP from that low of the overnight session, and it's in that neighborhood. So this kind of gives us a little confluence. We were kind of looking at an opportunity for a potential short against the initial balance low. We did get short 3 micros. We had 2 attempts at looking for a short here. We risked very little on this trade, and maybe that's probably why we didn't stay in the trade. We took a small loss on when it broke above the initial balance low, and that initial balance low was 3,370 cents. We tried it again on the 3-bar reversal. It started
Order filled. Order filled.
For whatever reason, we said, well, we don't like this anymore. I think Dakota was like, yeah, that 3-bar reversal didn't really play out. So we got out of that trade, which would have ended up bringing us right back to our session lows, overnight low, and this naked point of control down there. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if we find any more opportunities. Ended up being the right idea, maybe the wrong timing for that short up against that initial balance low. What I really like is when the market comes back to that initial balance low, leaves a couple of single TPOs below it, and then just rips back to the other side. It didn't happen today. No big deal. All right, crude oil. One trade in crude oil today, the opening range trade. Boy, oh boy. The market opened, and this is the 30-minute chart, folks. This is the range from yesterday. This is the volume profile from the regular trading hour session day yesterday. So the market opened with a gap. And when a market opens with a gap, there's always the possibility you're going to get that gap and go. And I think that's what we were kind of hoping for in this opening range trade in crude oil, because it did get us short at the low, almost at the low. Actually, a 1 tick from the low until it did take out the initial balance low, leaving a failed downside auction. That would have been a pretty decent opportunity to look for a long. But we weren't focusing on that. So we did get our stop taken out at 60.71. Our entry was 60.49, down $220. So we were down about, I don't know, $500-600 on the opening range, $400 or $500 on the opening range trades today. Again, overall, the opening range trade last month, so far this month, has been profitable for us. So we're going to keep continuing to collect that information and tell you as things kind of continue with that. House count in the S&Ps. Jack took basically the same 4 trades in the same general area. Where are we? Oh, we did open in range, kind of in value a little bit, maybe, but really just kind of holding right around settlement. Prior to the open, the market did take a rip to the downside and traded, in essence, right to the weekly kickoff low. What was the low here? 58.2875. So 5 ticks through the weekly kickoff low. If you had an opportunity there, hopefully, you were able to take it and take some pretty decent profits on that. But by the time the market opened at 8:30, we were basically hanging right around settlement. Settlement is the price that all positions are marked to at the end of the previous trading day. They do this to manage margins. So maybe not the best place to be looking for opportunities is right at settlement, but we did have some really good trades in the house account with Jack. First one, looked for a house account long, accumulated 2 ES longs, 58.52. Got out of a good profit on those of about $700 up at 58.59. Got another long 58.56, basically that same area. Kind of held that one just for a scratch. Now another long, right in those low 58.50s, looking for the market to hold those 58.50s. Held, took a long 2 contracts, 58.53, got out of those at 58.55 for another nice tidy little profit. Another one took one just as we were kind of ending. Well, as I was stepping away from the fast market segment to kind of take a look at this and research the recap. Took another long. I think it was right around that same area, 55.40, 55.54. So, 4 opportunities found, 3 of them profitable, one basically a scratch, right in that same area. I find that very, very interesting. Took another nice little tidy profit on that. I think Jack's house account was up around $1,200 by the end of the day today, maybe $1,300. Very, very nice trading by Jack today for the house account. House account is currently up. I'm thinking about $300 or $400 with the opening range trades and the little kind of small losses we took against that initial balance low in gold today. Now, Nasdaq trade of the day is coming up here, folks. Nasdaq. So we opened in range.
Order filled.
Bordering value. Value is probably going to be overlapping to lower today unless we get a which when the initial balance is established, the high of it is established last after the establishment of the bottom of the initial balance. Barron was telling us it's 75-80% that it will get extended, and it seems to be heading that way now. However, let's talk about the trade of the day from Barron today. What an unbelievable great trade. So the market opens basically kind of spans right around settlement price, and settlement price in the Nasdaq, just to be clear, is 156.75. So we've got the market opens right after the open. Barron has already taken along. I know he's using some fib levels to look for his opportunities, and he found a fib level down here around 61.8. Got long one Nasdaq 21,137. Look at that trade location. I mean, 137 to 113. I mean, we're looking at less than 20 heat on the trade. I don't think he ever took heat on the trade. He put in the low, got it here, and it just held that level, never really took any heat, held on to that trade. Well, let's see here. Looks like he got into that trade at 832, and his exit was finally up at 21,310. So 832 to 9. So about a half an hour he stayed in that trade and got up to his profit target, taking a tidy profit on just one NASDAQ, 137 to 310, 237, almost a 200-point banger on that. Dakota started getting involved. It took a couple of nice short little scalps here. His first one was a short from 21 to 96. Got out at just a nice tidy little profit, 21,278. Did a couple of those in this area. And then right at the end, I'm pretty sure Barron, who took this entry just before 10:30, long one, 21,225. Much that same area up in the 21,300s. Maybe he's going to look and see if we can break out the high of the initial balance. If Barron is around later, maybe he can tell us how the outcome of this trade is. But a great trade, wonderful trading day. Good job from everybody. Everybody made a little bit of money, and we're looking the rest of the day. There's lots of opportunities. So we've got Trade with Top Step coming up next. We've got Dr. Fib. He's been with us before, me, I think one time before. We're looking forward to seeing him again. Then a 4-day winning streak in his Express Funded account. Earned $241 yesterday. We're looking forward to catching up with Dr. Fib as always. He will be with Andre and Dolby. This is Top Step TV.
I just saw something that we need to do. Follow me immediately. This is incredible. 2 punches for $1. Are you kidding me? They're playing Weezer. Let's go! 722!
Toby, you're out of here?
What? Hey, 722.
All right, get out of here. I was gonna say.
Beat you, Dolby. Beat you, Dolby. Danielle, let's go. Danielle, thoughts?
178, Danielle. Thoughts?
Order filled.